So we are here to disseminate to you, enlighten you about the human rights. So that when you go and talk to your colleagues, when you go and talk to the forces, you talk to them about respect for human rights. And with the respect for these human rights, you also need to give the correct and accurate information. Give the correct and accurate information to the media houses. And the media houses are also under duty, by the way, you, the media, the journalists. You all the time try to also to dig down and find out exactly even things which are strictly confidential. And the journalist, when he gets across a confidential issue, you are not, by virtue of being a citizen of this country and your own responsibilities, you are not supposed to be talking about these things without an authorization. This is the situation. It is a question of understanding yourselves. Yes, I know there is always a heated debate between the journalists and not the army only, but with the army and all the other regular forces. That is what we need to minimize. This is what we need to eliminate so that you understand yourselves, and whenever you come across one another, you understand yourself and work together for the overall interest of your country. This is what we need from you. So what we need from you is transparency and accountability as a cornerstone to democratic governance. Yes, when we talk about democratic governance, it doesn't mean that the regular forces should be democratic in their institutions, because regular forces, as long as you are in uniform, you are controlled and guided by only your laws and regulations. So the journalists will not expect a force like this sitting before me here to come and say, yeah, let us vote so that we decide on this issue. That is not possible. They cannot vote and decide on anything that is brought before them. The same with the journalists. The journalists, when you talk about democratic governance, it is democratic governance within a civilized society. It is a democratic governance within the civil society. Not a democracy in the sense of understanding it in the regular forces. So this is another thing which I need to bring to your attention. It is important to note that public trust is fragile but essential for effective governance and security. Public trust is fragile. By promoting professionalism, transparency, and adherence to the rule of law, the SSPDF and the media can rebuild and sustain this trust. What is important is the trust. When a journalist comes to you, don't be suspicious of the journalist. Take him for a colleague, a brother, a sister who is coming for an information that will help us in the government of South Sudan. That will help us as South Sudanese. That will help us in resolving some of our issues. And also the journalist, when he goes there, when he comes to the SSPDF or to any other regular forces, don't go with the intention of knowing everything, including confidential issues which you are not supposed to get. Because in any institution, there are certain secrets or confidential issues that will not be divulged to everyone. And this is simply because of the security. And sometimes, not sometimes, always in any government, there are certain informations that cannot be made public except after a specific number of years. They are made so simply because if they are made public prematurely, then this is likely to affect the public interest. Any agreement signed, there are some agreements that could be signed strictly confidential. So when we talk about professionalism and transparency, yes, we need to be professionals in all aspects, and we need to be transparent in performance of our functions and duties, but according to the law. I say according to the law because in this world there is no freedom which is absolute. And I have been saying it, I have ever been saying it, that there is no freedom which is absolute. So, an officer has the right to talk of anything, but that right is regulated by law. The same thing with the journalist. The journalist has the right to write and report whatever he comes across. But that should be according to the law. So what we need from you, from both the media houses and the journalists and the SSPDF is understanding cooperation and cooperation. Understand yourselves, cooperate, so that you avoid this idea of accusing one another all the time and arresting one another. I appeal to you, and I expect this workshop to come up with the way forward. Come up with how best you can cooperate, understand yourselves, cooperate and work together without fear